What stupid piece of advice makes you really angry? In order to heal, you have to be able to forgive. Do it better / make a better effort. You have to love yourself before you can love someone else. No. You don't. Just get over it. My cousin killed himself in 2018 and I got told a lot. At least he's in peace, it happened for a reason. BC, it made me realize suicide was an answer, or just turn the chapter. Like, I know he literally was the only person I loved back then and now he's gone. Get over it. It's the way we've always done it. Man up. Don't be angry. If you can't love yourself, how in the hell are you gonna love somebody else? Also fake it till you make it. When I've lost something, oh, it's in the last place you had it. Okay, genius, thanks. Where do you think I looked first to establish that it was lost? Which will be followed up by, oh, it must be somewhere. Yes. I agree that it is not phased out of this space-time continuum into a parallel universe and is, in fact, somewhere. However, since it has apparently been moved from the last place I had it and put in a place that defies all logical patterns of search, that doesn't do me any good. Nothing specific, but I can't stand when my in-laws try to give me and my wife advice on credit cards. They're great savers and investors. Terrible with credit card management. If you're mother-in-law, don't ever give your daughter-in-law unsolicited advice about raising her new baby. Edit, unsolicited. I always hated it saying / advice that you can love others if you can love yourself. Like, congratulations, tell people who are already probably depressed or dealing with self-esteem issues or something like that they basically can't love their friends. That'll totally make them feel better. I get what it technically means and I understand why people might think that it's a good thing to tell people, but it's just really not. It's basically just some fake deep thing for wannabe sad boys from middle school. Just ignore them and they will stop. Stop telling kids this. Bullies go after easy targets, and if you just lay down and take it, they will go harder. The only way to get rid of bullies is to stand up for yourself. I'm a teacher. I will never directly tell students this, but if you need to punch that fucker in the face to get him to leave you alone, do it. I use the 3-day rule. If you don't think you'll care about something in 3 days, don't waste time caring about it now. It's common in my area for acting teachers to tell their students to never work background. So then we end up getting these well-trained actors who have no idea what to do on set, because they have never been on a set before. It is extremely frustrating. I'm feeling pretty low. Have you tried going for a walk? I remember my dad once told me that when he was thinking about separation he asked for advice to some of his co-workers, I think 10 in total. All of them said something like, dude, don't do it, you'll just destroy your family. Just get into an affair. Everyone does it. He never did it, thankfully. He did end up divorcing from my mom though. He told me that he felt really for the advice he was given by literally everybody he asked. Follow your heart. Your brain can make stupid decisions too, but damn your heart. Don't be shy. Calm down. Give respect to elderly. Being old doesn't give you a right to be rude, and it sure as hell doesn't make you right all the time. Respect should be given, and there is nothing wrong when a younger person corrects an older one, as long as it's in a respectable manner. OFC. Just calm down. Work hard and put in longer hours when you're a fresher. Unless you get paid for the overtime, don't work overtime. Just try harder, everyone else can do it. You should be married and be building a family by now. As if you're going to pay for my future children's expenses. Relationships happen when you're not looking for them. I tend to think this advice works better for women than men in my experience. And even then I don't think it's really helpful to either. People just need to adjust what they're looking for. Take the shot. Turn to faith. Thanks, Margaret, but somehow I doubt that your magic sky daddy is going to fix my problems. If you didn't spend your money on coffee and a Netflix subscription, you would be able to afford a house. Time heals all wounds. Better to have loved and lost than to never have loved at all. Both not true. Sometimes people can really mess someone up. Just be confident or just be yourself. Just relax. Well, why didn't I think of that? Stupid advice. If you're losing in an argument, start correcting their grammar. You say you don't want kids, but you're gonna change your mind in a few years. So you should have kids now, regardless of whether you want them or not. I can't tell you I want them because I can see the future. Work smarter, not harder. This advice makes me irrationally angry every time I hear it. I think I'm just triggered because I would hear this statement on a nearly weekly basis from the administration of a for-profit hospital I used to work at. This advice was always a comeback from administration whenever our floor nurses and CNAs would bring up a concern that could have been improved with better staffing ratios, more pay, or more support from patient abuse. Bedside healthcare workers get abused way too much and it does not get talked about enough. When you break up with someone and everyone you know says, "There's plenty of fish in the sea." It's all part of a plan. Live, laugh, love. No, Karen. Advice/saying, no one can make you feel inferior without your consent. No. Fuck that noise. That's basically saying if someone makes me feel bad or lesser than, it's my fault. Bullshit. Plenty of people can make you feel like shit, that doesn't mean you allowed it. I am diabetic, so the one I really hate is, if you exercise and control your diet, you can make it go away. No. No, you cannot. You can make the symptoms almost entirely vanish, however the underlying cause will stay. I lost my shit at my aunt Thanksgiving because she said this to me. She was diabetic as well but lived an extremely healthy lifestyle. I challenged her to prove her diabetes was gone. She took her BGC and it was only 86. I laid a regular, non-diet, soft drink in front of her and told her to slam it. She did. 10 minutes later 210 BGC. Sugar drink is actually much worse than sugary. The sugar drink will metabolize extremely quickly. Be yourself. Move on. How can I move on when there's a fucking wall in front of me? Be kind to them no matter what they say or do. This was something my mother almost told me and I always hated it. Just work harder and you will achieve your dreams. That is a complete, utter lie when one's dreams require interacting with, or relying on another person's actions and choices. Unsurprisingly, this is true in basically every achievement in life. Working harder means nothing, and achieves nothing other than one having greater skills that are ignored or devalued in a workplace environment. Too many decades of experience in that. Closely following is just get any degree. Quite possibly a worse lie, but I still think it is following the work hard/constantly rhetoric. Money is not everything. Money solves 99% of people's problems. Never give up. I followed that advice when pursuing a guy I liked, who wasn't interested in me, and I ended up getting a restraining order and ankle bracelet. Don't find a job after college, create one. I know at least 5 idiots who dropped out of college to join their friend's startup and become filthy rich. None of their startups ever made money or got bought out and all those guys went back to college to finish their degrees 3 to 5 years later. Unless you have an amazing idea, you don't, go get some actual industry experience before you waste years of your life being poor with zero chance of success. I'm asexual, and when I came out my mother's response was, "How do you know if you didn't try?" Okay mom, how are you sure you don't like women if you didn't try first? Suck it up. Well, maybe I would if you followed your own advice and didn't lose your mind over some politely given constructive criticism, you hypocrite. It is what it is. When I was young, my mom told me, if I really love a person, I shouldn't use condoms. Money can't buy you happiness. No, they can't. But not having money, having to live from paycheck to paycheck can be super stressful and take a toll on your mental health equals unhappy. Sure, you can be unhappy and wealthy, but you do have the opportunity to have a home, food, paying your bills and afford therapy for whatever makes you unhappy. You have almost every opportunity to create the life you want. Any advice with the word bootstraps in it, it automatically makes me think the person saying it, has had an easier life than everybody else. If they don't accept you at their worst, they don't deserve you at your best. Terrible advice. People should definitely be in it when you're down, but I hear this used to justify abusive or manipulative behavior all the time. You can do anything you want and should do the job you love. For some tiny percentage of people that's okay, but they call it work for a reason. The fun jobs exist, but there are very, very few of them. By far, the majority of work needed can be unpleasant, and even if you love the field, doing it all week for someone else, on their schedule, and how they want it done, isn't always great. Not everybody gets to be a video game tester. Why do people think that's fun? Working for a video game producer is often a death march. There are some, but not many jobs for people who love 13th century French literature. It might be unwise to go into debt expecting someone needs that skill. Guess what? Most people will work 40 hours a week and then have fun on their time. The lucky ones will think the work was okay. The really, really lucky ones will think it was fun.
With